Good morning. My clock says 9:30. Welcome to the Danville Architectural Heritage Board regular meeting, Wednesday, July 18th. And that'll serve as a call to order. First order of business is the approval of the minutes for the June 20, 2018 meeting.
I move we accept the minutes.
I have a motion to accept. I have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Item number 3, we have a couple of certificates and requests before the board. The first is 125 South 2nd Street. That is the Ephraim McDowell House Museum, looking for a new sign. And if we have someone representing, if you'd like to step up and introduce yourself and tell us what you need.
I am Lauren Klontz, and I'm representing McDowell House Museum, and we are over on 2nd Street right across from Constitution Square. And we don't have very good signage right now, and we would really love to have a sign for our front railing. It is going to be 8 square feet, if approved, 4 by 2, and we have a bid from City Art Signs.
Okay.
Is this it, the white, is it gonna be
Yes.
white? Yeah. I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Can I make a comment which is not official and has nothing to do
Your
with the
microphone.
Push your red
But I
button.
want to say this under the table.
You can't.
You can't do that.
No,
Dana asked for something on the table.
just a suggestion that your sign would be more readable and look more professional if you break the former home and office of, and then the second line would say Dr. Ephraim McDowell, Pioneer Surgeon.
Oh, okay.
That
Yeah.
would work a lot better,
That-
and Evan won't mind.
That sounds
if I
great.
suggest that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm done.
From a point I travel, I would have to concur with that.
And
Good
I-
marketing. You just got probably a couple $100 worth of free marketing
Marketing
advice.
advice.
Right?
Thank you.
And I second.
It's
the
your
motion.
lucky day.
I
And she seconds the motion. All in,
Thank you.
we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Very good. None opposed? Have a good day and
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Lauren.
Thank
Good
you so
luck on that,
much.
and still appreciate having you downtown.
Thank
That's
you.
a great, always great to see that little street there just sparkle. So
Thanks so
thank you.
much.
Remember to check with planning and zoning to see if you need a sign permit. Remember to check with planning and zoning to see if you need a sign permit for that as well. And their office is right on the right as you go out the door.
And you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting unless you really want to see
No.
what's going on.
Second item, 126 Church Street, addition of Pendant sign, and I believe we have Ms. Reeves.
Do y'all have a picture of the sign? Oops. I don't know if Jody turned that back in or not.
We have a sketch.
You
We
do?
have
A
a
sketch?
drawing, yes.
Okay, that's it. Kirby's Signs will be the one that will be installing it and doing the work.
You're gonna replace the flat sign?
No.
You're gonna add
I'm
to?
gonna add to it. I'm gonna leave that just because of the cost. This sign, I'm hoping to give us more of a presence on Church Street. After 2 years, I still have locals coming in saying that they didn't know it was there. So that's the purpose of spending this additional money on signage.
Where are you going to place it on the building?
Wherever you tell me to. How's that? Is that a good answer?
That's actually pretty
It
good.
is a good answer, but no, I'm just curious because we have staff recommendations to
Right.
approve as long as it
Right.
is, 8 feet above the right of way, not 3 feet further out. Kirby.
Actually, I was gonna give that
To Kirby.
decision to Kirby to make, but what I'm thinking is right above the door, between the door casing and the bottom of the sign that's on there now. But then that might not be,
No, If you put
appropriate.
it above the door and at least 8 feet up, I mean, it might look weird if you put it too high.
Right.
Looks like a good solution to me.
I think it's a great solution, just as an opinion, because I've been in there a couple of times, and although you know where it's at, and if
Right.
you're looking for the place, it's really kind of tough to
Right,
find,
right.
because you can't see it.
Right. And the sign the existing sign is very high up. So if you were just looking at the door and looking for signage, you wouldn't be able to see that.
It's
So
great if you're sitting at Baskin Robbins, you can see
Right.
it, but you
That-
can't
And
see
you
it
know,
from
that's so
anywhere
funny
else.
because when people say they can't find me, I'm like, okay, if you're sitting in Baskin Robbins drive-through, look over your shoulder. That's where we're at.
I just have one thought. If you do end up putting it on the masonry, it's probably a good thing to try to look for a mortar joint to screw
Yes,
into. If
yes.
you do end up going that route and not into the concrete, if you can avoid that.
Yeah, yeah, I will pass that on to
Yeah.
Kirby, but I'm sure he's,
He probably knows that.
yeah, I'm hoping.
Oh, take a motion, we approve. Make a motion.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Sure.
Okay.
Second.
There's only 4 of us. So I have a second from Dana. Any further discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor? Aye. None opposed? Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day and good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll throw open to staff, item number 4. It's a final submission of the Old Wilderness Road National Historic District nomination.
Yes, sir. You've got the final submission in front of you. It looks really pretty good to me. So what we've got to do is, you all will have to make a recommendation to the city that it needs to be a historic district, and once that's done, it has to go to them, and then, once they agree, we will have to turn it over to this, the Heritage Council. So unless you have any objections with it or issues with it, I'm pretty pleased with it.
No planning and zoning review?
Yeah, that's
no-
part of it. We will have to,
No, I'm sorry, not under this one.
Okay,
yeah,
The district one, yes.
the expansion, okay.
the expansion.
In the city.
Oh, I see, yes.
And then it's got to
I
go to the
it.
Heritage
Yeah,
Council.
Totally
so-
different.
Yeah, I get confused with it still. I constantly
Only
check
if they
that
come
ordinance.
under us to do, yeah,
Right.
gotcha.
So,
Well, and I just want to add in, I had sent all my recommendations to him, and he incorporated them all, and I had made him note, and it was mentioned in the minutes about trying to find a connection between the families, the big property owners and
Yeah.
slave owners versus who was actually owning the property. Could not pin that down
Right.
in the time frame, but
Sure.
it's on my radar. But I just want to make note of that, that no connection could be found as of this time.
This is wonderful.
yeah, it's
Just
pretty cool.
wonderful.
I'm pretty pleased. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think he did a really nice job showing what is still extant as opposed to what the community's already lost, which I think probably is the reason that this needs to be brought in, because a lot of those are gone or so disjointed in new infill that they're just not, they're not a good candidate. But this one still is, so yay. Now the hard stuff starts.
Good. I'll make a motion that we submit this to the city commission with a recommendation to accept. Is that what you need?
Yes, ma'am.
And I will second.
Have a motion, have a second. Any further discussion here? Any comments? Mr. Gray, I know you wish to ask a question, or do you have a comment? Not to put you on the spot, sir, but, and do you have a copy of the recommendation? We can,
I was gonna say, he have one copy right here.
and you can read that and be prepared for the city commission meeting, sir.
Well, and just to, I guess, to state on the record, this is no property, there's no mandates through this of property, what you can do, can't do.
Absolutely
The
not.
only thing it does is if the federal money were to be spent on a road project there, and it were to damage these properties, it kicks into something called Section 106.
Yep.
Which we know would mitigate that. So it only
Right.
protects it against federal money being spent
Right.
to do damage, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
But what it does also do is give folks that want to invest in their homes the ability to get some
That's
tax
right.
credits on there.
That's right.
Which I think is a
It's
win-win.
an incentive.
Yeah, it's a big incentive. So even with personal homes, the state still offers that 30% tax credit. That's a big deal for folks. That's real money. So it doesn't restrict them from
Yeah,
doing
it
anything
doesn't.
to the property.
It just says this district is important, and here's
Right.
why.
And a little money.
Yeah, yeah.
So, which is good.
All right, I have a motion, a second.
Who seconded that? Me. Mary. Okay, thank you.
Last call for further discussion. All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None? Great. Preservation workshops. Joni, if you'd like to throw that out, and I did get the invitation to the cemetery workshop,
Good.
which, quite honestly, is pretty important in this community because even countywide, of all the little scattered, that's always been a big issue
Right.
so I've signed up for that one.
Well, good. I mean, they're fascinating to go to, and it really gives you a greater respect for,
Well, this is a webinar, so it's
Yeah.
like, there's no travel, you click
Yeah,
on
it's
it,
a
you
pretty
sit
good
there and you
deal.
do it. I'm hoping for something very nice, but pardon me for stealing your
no,
thunder.
no, that's quite all right. I'm glad that you signed up. We're very happy about that. And, you know, any of them that they do locally that you can actually go and put your hands on, it's pretty neat stuff to figure out how to clean the stones and do all that preservation work, so, and it's
Did you
important.
make the people who, I think there's a cemetery board, did you make them aware of this?
I will forward that on to them and let them know.
Probably be a good idea.
That actually is
for
quite,
them.
yes, it would be.
Yeah, because I'm not sure who's on the cemetery board, but
Yeah.
Miss Bridget's got it, so, yeah, they should know also.
Is there a form or something that we need to fill out when we do complete our continuing ed or our required training?
I keep a spreadsheet of it, so
Okay.
I guess really all you all need to do, unless I'm mistaken, Bridget, just send me the information and we'll keep a
Okay.
We
I
spreadsheet.
just
need
have
to
to have
send you
proof
one.
that you have completed the training,
Okay.
and it's part of the staff report that we have to turn in
Okay.
for the Heritage Council annually now.
Because I did one up in Kansas City on murals, and Vicki approved it, so I guess I
Right.
just need to tell you I took it?
Well, if you could send us the information
little
on
summary
it
on
and
it?
what it was and how
Okay,
much
I'll do
time you
that.
got it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should give you a credit hour for it, and
Okay,
that's the
great.
big one, to know which your credit hours are. It's like being back in college. How many credit hours?
Yeah.
There's a minimum requirement for ordinance, but it behooves everybody, the more you get.
Yeah.
I mean, the more training you get is helpful in what you all have to look at and approve, so.
And I'm not sure who to route it to, so I'm almost hesitant to throw this out. I would probably, particularly the cemetery workshop, let me throw, if you can find a contact person at Kentucky Trust Company and probably FNB Farmers, their trust, because they maintain a couple of cemetery trusts or used to.
Oh, wow.
And this could be something that ought to be on their radar.
I will check on it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're quite all right.
I
I'm
jumped
just
in your
making.
agenda.
No.
Where are we on the public meeting for the
You will be having the public meeting on August 15th at
Okay.
9 a.m.
August 15th?
We had some, it was my screw up. I didn't put the signs in the yard.
Okay.
But they are in my trunk and will be going in the yards next week.
Well, and we also didn't get the ad in time either. But that was kind of a combination of.
That's that 9 o'clock that keeps-
Screw up, but it's good, and the only reason we're holding off until then is Miss Rhodes is gonna be out of town, and she obviously needs to be at the hearing, so I think it's gonna be a done deal, though, once we get everybody here, which is great. Which brings up, we have gotten the grants for the workshops, and I guess what I need to get from you guys is, we set out the 3 that we thought would be beneficial. We need to get a place to do them and a time to do them, and I'm just kind of looking for your all's thoughts on time and place and maybe what's appropriate. If anything is inappropriate, if we could ask one of the local buildings if we could do one of their windows, and, because I'm not sure how that works with city funding.
I don't know, that's a good
Can
question.
you refresh our memory on what you sent
sent
out?
Yeah, it's the CLG grants.
Okay.
One of them is like an intro to preservation, which is no big deal. We can do that here. The second and third ones are going to be hands-on kind of workshops. So particularly with the window workshop, I've talked to Patrick Kennedy, who's great. And I would like to open it up to everybody in the city and certainly the county or anybody that wants to come to it. But I think it'd be beneficial to us to have it someplace at a venue where we could look at some windows. And, you know, I was even thinking maybe, I'm not sure, the young lady from Ephraim McDowell's gone, but I thought maybe might look at the Ephraim McDowell house, but I'm not sure since it's, flowing through the city, if that's doable.
Some places got old windows.
Yep, and,
I went to a window workshop in northern Kentucky, in Newport, and the guy who did that workshop is from Louisville, and he didn't need, he brings the window,
right.
but he needs a large table and it was said they had those meetings in like an art room.
Okay.
School, so that there was large table space for him to set up.
Certainly.
Sets up equipment to show you. It doesn't take a lot of space.
Community
Well-
Arts Center or the library or
Or Constitution Square.
Constitution Square.
Well, and two, I mean, do you want to have it during the week? Would you rather have it on a Saturday? I'm almost leaning towards a Saturday because then folks that aren't working and could come and,
I would say Saturday. And so we have 3 workshops planned. What is our time frame? When do we have to get them finished by?
well, I'd like to do them in the fall into the winter. Obviously, the window workshop, later fall, anything that needs, I think cooler weather's better. People are just not so cranky really and get out.
Honestly, the intro to preservation would be a good one to do in the winter.
Right.
We don't have to be outside.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the third one? Intro, windows?
Oh, I know you would ask me.
Oh.
I'm not sure right off the top of my head this morning.
I just wanted to log them in the minute. Okay.
Yeah, I
I'll
need
look it
to,
up.
yeah, I'll look it up. It is another hands-on, and honestly, I was at the dentist yesterday,
Oh, okay.
and they capped my mouth, and didn't sleep much last night, so I'm a little scattered today. So I don't know exactly. I'll have to let you know that one. But I do know, with the window workshop, I almost want to, I don't mind doing it inside, but I'd like for folks to be able to see them.
It's one of those, if we could approach the Community Arts Center, because then it's on Main Street, and we could do a walk down and,
Right.
with some, because there are a number of buildings that have old windows
Mhm.
in the Main Street area that would be easy to reach. So maybe ask them. I don't know what their schedule's like though for the fall.
I'll approach the Art Center if that's agreeable to you guys.
Or the lower level of Third Street Methodist Church would work, but should be a place that doesn't have carpet.
Right.
Right, and the library's big room has carpet.
Yeah, the basement of the art center would be perfect.
It would.
This is, you need tables and chairs or,
I would say so, yes.
Or I guess we could do it downstairs. There's not carpet downstairs here, is there?
Yeah, there is now.
Oh, there is? Okay.
if tables and chairs, 311, Tim Montgomery's building would be a great spot if that first floor is ready to go, because it's
That would be
in process of being
Oh,
restored.
yeah,
Ooh, I'd be for
311. I can contact him. I'll talk to him. I mean, if you guys are agreeable to that.
Oh, that would
That'd
be,
great.
Yeah.
that's my vote.
So, you thinking on Saturdays? Try to do them on Saturdays?
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do is I'll get a tentative timeline laid out. I've got to talk to Patrick, obviously, and see what his schedule is, but I think he's opening up mid-October to later October, which I think might be nice. It's fall, and we can get out and walk around some there, because I think it's important to see what the window looks like and what a nice window does for your building as opposed to a replacement window, you know.
Did I give you the business card of the guy from Louisville that led the workshop?
No. Okay, yeah.
He said he'd be glad to come in.
Okay, yeah, and please forward that to me. I mean, and let me also ask you, I'm not sure with these folks, do we need to bid out since we are doing, essentially
much is it?
hiring someone?
We'll have to look at that process.
Yeah, how
Right.
much is it? How much is it for that?
Patrick's he'll charge us $1,000.
Oh,
And I think for
probably
that
not.
one, I've put like $1,600 into that budget. So, which will cover his expense and then whatever printing we need to do. And I'd like to send folks home with a guide on, a nice printed guide, and then have them available on the website too. But I'm not sure what that process is, if we have to And that's probably something I need to talk to Vicki about
Yeah, it
too,
is
to
federal.
see
Yeah,
if we need to,
me and you'll figure that one
you know,
out.
contract it out. But I'm leaning towards Patrick Kennedy if I don't have to jump through a lot of hoops, because Patrick's a really, he's a good name, and I think we'd have people turn out because it's him. In the end, that's what I want to do, is get people to come, so. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to get some feedback for you guys, what you thought would be appropriate and easy enough to do. And then that way, next meeting, I'll have a good timeline laid out, and we'll have the processes figured out. So, but I don't want to schedule things without talking to you guys, because I might think something's a great idea and you disagree, which happens, so.
Okay. Any other items? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Gray.
Can you go to the microphone?
Yeah. If you'll, and your full name again, sir.
My name's Glenn Gray, and I own some property on Martin Luther King, and I was coming, I thought it was a house on Walnut Street that was gonna be historic.
Oh, you're talking
Move
about
out.
the district expansion, yeah.
I mean, is this coming today? Is,
August
well, I got a
15th.
a letter in the mail that said it would be today at 9 days.
Yeah, no, everything got moved around.
And we sent a second letter to you. I'm sorry if you haven't gotten it. We sent another
It's-
letter
it's-
telling you
yeah,
of the August date.
It said the same thing. 9 o'clock, 18th.
If we did that, we screwed up. It's in August, on the 15th.
Oh.
But did you have some concerns or something we can help you with, or?
Really, no, I just want to know, you know, I'll get the information or what, you know.
Well, I'll
Yeah, we
be
can
happy
do
to,
now.
yeah, we
Yeah.
can talk to you about it now. Is that-
Yeah.
okay, what we're going to do is the Willis Russell Memorial Cabin over there. We're going to propose that it is listed as a National Register site and a standalone historic landmark within the city. And it is only on that particular building and nothing else on those two streets. So that'll be able to protect the building a little bit, and then hopefully open them up for some tax credits and some other things for that particular structure. But it's only on the Willis Russell Cabin.
Because the church I belong to has property on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
Second Street Christian Church,
Yes, sir?
and my brother and I have property in the back of the property.
Sure.
So I just wanted to,
Yeah, it will not affect your properties at all, unless you've got a historic house you want to bring into the district too. I'll help you with that.
We
Mr.
have to
Gray?
notify you. We're bound by legal reasons that we have to notify all the adjacent property owners. That's probably why you got a letter, is just so you know that your neighbors, what's happening with your neighbor's property.
okay.
Yeah. So-
Well, I thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you for coming. All right.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn? Have a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you all.